Hello everyone, Steve here. So for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Dog Ningen, also goes by the name Dog. Well, I'm not gonna say the word simply because of yeah. Well, it's not like I can't say the word. It's more like I don't really want to like offend you guys, or I don't want to offend anyone, of course. So I won't say. I'm just gonna be referring to it by its second name, or the clean version, Dog Ningen. Yeah, but anyways, the reason I'm talking about this is simply because of that being simply because of that being simply it's not really that being well, I am still reading like the manga for it, like I'm still reading it. However, I'm still kind of waiting on for like new chapters to come out, and I believe like the author himself of the manga course is actually making an anime right now. Yeah, the anime is currently being worked on, which I can't wait to see, of course. um yeah, but anyways, yeah, there's that. But also I want to talk about, of course, of like how I got into it and what I think of it so far and what I think of it. um I first heard about Dog Ninja on like TikTok. Well, on TikTok, of course. Like I've been hearing like some people talking about it, and seen like a few memes of it as well, which at first, of course, I found pretty funny, of course. And but also a bit interesting because like what makes Dog Ninja very different compared to like other mangas is, well, sure, it's of course is a well it's based that being it's not made by like any like I don't know, by like a Japanese author or like made in Japan. It's actually a Western comic, but it's heavily influenced off manga, of course. That being was like um that being it's like black and white. You read it, left through right. It's very Japanese based. However, it's made by like an American guy, black guy specifically. But anyways, yeah. Um, and I actually and after like I don't know, seeing and after hearing about it a bit, I actually did get into. I did eventually read the entirety of the manga. I think currently as I'm speaking right now, it's currently on chapter 69, I believe. Yeah, and I did read like the latest chapter for it as well, and I'm currently like waiting for like more to come out, which is taking a while simply because of because I know like the author himself is like he's busy with stuff. Of course, that being was like the anime as well as like still working on like latest chapters, of course, for the manga, which is understandable. But so yeah, but generally, but for like the series itself, at first, of course, I find it pretty wild. Of course, that being was like the premise of it, which I don't think which if you read Dog Ninja, you'll probably know what the premise is about. I'm not gonna tell you guys about it either for both spoiler reasons, and then also I'm kind of concerned of this video getting taken down, so I'm not gonna say. But it's more like dedicated channels that do get into or more into Dog Ninja if you guys want to watch. So yeah. Um, but yeah, it's like the premise of it is like crazy. It was like the main character wanted to like take revenge on his father for making him for for making him a monster, and then there's that, and then we also got like, some of the other characters like Neo, the black cat lady. I forgot her name, and some of the other characters, of course, are also pretty goated. Another thing about the manga, of course, is like it's very offensive, or like it's both offensive and also very dark, which may discourage like new readers, of course, on continue reading it. But try which I was also like a bit like shocked, of course, of like some of the things I've both seen and read when I first read it. But eventually, once you get past those parts and get deeper into the lore, like the series is actually like very goated, low key. Like, that being was like pretty much how MCU, of course, just wanted to take revenge off on his father, of course, for quite literally making him a monster, and also just wants to like be loved. Then we got a boy Nico, of course, who's pretty much wants to just live, doesn't want to be an assassin. He just wants to be a painter. And then with and then for like I think and then for like the cat lady, I forgot her name. It's been I think well she's essentially like the cat woman on that, yeah, the cat woman or like the black cat of like her world, pretty much. yeah, but generally, like, most of the characters have very dark and very dark inside backstories, which you feel, which you feel bad for them pretty much. And yeah, and then we don't really know like the identity of like the father of of I forgot Rex's father. Yeah, Rex's. We really don't really know the identity of Rex's father. That being his name and his face. Of course, all we know that is like he's a very powerful man. Like he's not some random junkie. Like no, he's um, like some powerful like businessman. He's like I don't know, yeah, who has like a lot of ties with like I don't know, with like a lot of powerful like companies organizations. Like he's someone you should not mess with. And we know that of course that being one of the yeah I think yeah one of the people that work for him or one of the yeah works for him is like is Neo's father as well as his brothers, and then we also got the black cat lady who also works for him. Well, it's kind of pretty much. So yeah, and yeah, I think that's all I have to say for the yeah for today's video. I actually would like to hear your guys' thoughts on Dog Ningen. What do you how do you expect the series will continue on? Yeah, how will continue on, and also talk about like what you expect, and also talk about like the upcoming anime, and then also yeah just generally like talk about it overall. So yeah, that's all I have to say for today's video. I hope you guys have a splendid day, and yeah, I'm essentially out. Bye bye.